Hello, everyone. Welcome to Development Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio. With me today is Jiunn and John McTavish. How you guys doing today?
What up?
I wish I was in bed or playing the new Outer Worlds video game. That's where I wish I was right now. I mean, I love our audience. Thank you for tuning in.
So today we are talking about the Southern Draw Rose of Sharon Desert Rose. Cigars are Robusto Extra, 5.5 inch by 52 ring gauge. Comes out of the Tabacalera AJ Fernandez factory in Nicaragua. Wrappers from Ecuador. Binder is Nicaraguan Habano. Filler is Dominican Piloto Cubano and Honduran Corojo 99. Cigar is blended by Robert Holt. Price point is $11.99, and the cigar was released in July of 2019. So with all that out of the way, Gene, what was your overall experience with this cigar like?
I thought it was good. I thought that uh, there was this really great, like buttery, velvety, kind of an oily mouthfeel to it, and it's the flavors complemented it. I got like a ton of like buttery toast, a lot of like richness, and like cedar nuttiness, and it was just combination of all that stuff was really good. It worked really well. The only complaint I have, which shouldn't be a factor at this point in any cigar made, there's this like I had two of these, and both of the secondary band on it was like super gluey, like so it took off a good chunk of the wrapper,
Mm-hmm.
which was which was disappointment. So Robert might want to do a little QC check on that. So
How about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, my experience was, I think, a little bit better than June's in the sense that, to me, this is the best cigar I've smoked out of the show. And the next closest cigar is, not a ways down, but it's a ways down. And I've said this before, and I, kind of did a little tongue in cheek, but I do sincerely believe that Robert's stuff that's coming out of AJ is the best stuff that's coming out of AJ. I honestly believe that if you took any AJ stuff that's out this year coming out of AJ's factory, Robert stuff beats it hands down. Like, it's not even close.
oh yeah.
And yeah, and I mean, we've talked about it. The construction is great. The draw is great. But at the end of the day, I need the flavor to be there, especially if I'm paying $10, $11 for a cigar. And for me, the flavor was absolutely there. I mean, the first third was by far the best third. This reminded me of some of the greats from last year where you start out in the first 10 minutes, you're like, oh man, this is a really good cigar. I'm in for a great experience. And, it maintained a high level of consistency throughout. It wasn't at the same level as the first third through the second and third, but still very enjoyable. I mean, it's an easy review to do because you're just having a great experience. And, I wish there was more of that this year. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with wood, mustiness, black pepper. As it progressed, that kind of black pepper faded away, and the musty wood was the prime component the rest of the way. There were some moments of black tea, dark roast coffee, a little bit of bitterness, some mintiness. Strength was at a slightly above medium mark the whole way. Construction was quite good. First third of the cigar, I thought it had a nice complexity to it, but after that, things were pretty average. I prefer the original Rose of Sharon to this one. But I think a fair amount of people will like this, as you and June have explained here. But I'd smoke this again, but I think I'd lead more towards the original before I'd pick this one up. Just kind of my preference for that. So just my comparison between the two. So getting into the scores, start at the top with you, John, at 7.52. June was next at 6.82, and then I gave it a 6 even. So John, 7.52. How'd that match up for you?
I mean, at this rate, I'd say that score puts it in a contender for top 5 cigar of the year. And like I said, I think the next closest cigar that I've rated personally is maybe almost zero point 0.3 or zero point 0.4 of a score down from this. So it's a pretty wide gap right now. We'll see how the rest of the year shapes out. But that absolutely matches my experience. And like I said, this is like last year when you lit up a cigar and you go, okay, we've got a contender on our hands. This is, top 10 material, and there's really nothing bad to say about the cigar. I mean, the only bad thing I have to say is I just wish the first third was the same as the rest of the thirds, but this is a cigar I would be happily smoking every day. I personally prefer this to the original. I thought the original was quite good. So yeah, I wish more cigars in the market were like this. Yeah, June?
All right, June, 6.82.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It's a solid score. It's a winner for this year, this very lackluster year. But I've I thought that it was different enough than the original Rose of Sharon to warrant um, like using still kind of that somewhat of the same name convention into this.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, different enough, but it's like, oh, okay, I believe this is believable, right? It's like, all right, start to do as Rose of Sharon and then do this Desert Rose, and then move on to like heavier. So I thought it was really good. I think I agree with John in the sense that I think for me it's pretty unanimous that the best stuff coming out of AJ is the stuff that Robert does. So
Yeah, my 6 even was representative of my actual experience. It was a slightly above average flavor profile with great construction, which is to be expected from Robert and from the AG factory. So, kind of what was to be expected. But yeah, different from you guys. I think I prefer the original better. All right, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. We'll also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels and catch all of our review recaps on podcasts. So iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.